A couple hours ago, the Philadelphia Flyers traded forward prospect Cutter Gauthier to the Anaheim Ducks. And in exchange, they got young defenseman Jamie Drysdale and a second-round pick. Shortly after the trade was made official, Frank Saravalli reported that Cutter Gauthier didn't have any interest in playing in Philadelphia. And within the last couple hours, both Danny Briere and Keith Jones have confirmed that to be true.
Yeah, he didn't want to be a Flyer. You don't want to be a Flyer? You're not going to be a Flyer?
As a Flyers fan, I'm going to give you my quick thoughts and analysis on what I think about this trade. Going back to that draft a couple years ago, I didn't even want Cutter Gauthier. I wanted David Jiricek, the right-handed defenseman that went one pick later to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Cutter Gauthier is not a center, and he will not be a successful center at the NHL level. He's a winger. You hear the term floating go around hockey. Some people call it cherry picking. Well, Cutter Gauthier takes floating to a whole nother level. I'm not going to deny his elite high-end ceiling, but the dude's got a lot of holes in his game, and I don't think he ever reaches that ceiling. I said this at the time a couple months ago, but when he skipped development camp this past summer, that was a huge red flag. He didn't want to play in Philadelphia. Danny Briere and Keith Jones were just recently in Sweden watching the World Juniors. Cutter Gauthier had 12 points, and they requested to speak to Cutter, and he refused to talk to him. Now, Danny said tonight when they first drafted Cutter Gauthier, he was pumped. He wanted to be a Philadelphia Flyer, and they found out a couple months later he kind of flip-flopped and changed his opinion and no longer wanted to play for the Flyers. I think it was pretty impressive by the Flyers front office to keep this quiet. His value didn't seem to slip. I really like the package that they got. Like I just mentioned, the Flyers, Danny Briere, Keith Jones, they were in Sweden. They were watching World Juniors. They wanted to speak to him. He refused. I guess that was really like the final straw. Like, okay, it's time to trade him. They were able to get a pretty nice package back in return, in my opinion. I'm not some sort of prospect guru, and I'm not watching a ton of Anaheim Ducks games, so I don't want to sound like, I know more about Jamie Drysdale than anyone else. I don't. You read the scouting report. You do watch the highlights. This guy was taken very high in the draft just a couple years ago. He had a very impressive rookie season. Injuries have kind of derailed things a little bit. Hopefully we can get things back on track in Philly, but from everything you read, this guy has top pair, he's a right-hand shot. He has top pair potential. At the end of the day, I know Cutter Gauthier is a young, cocky, entitled kid, but I didn't know he was stupid. And what he did today and over the last couple of months was really, really stupid. That's my thoughts on the Cutter Gauthier trade. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.